Hello, 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 hello. How are you? And happy Halloween for those of you who celebrate Halloween, uh, and happy.
I'm trying my low voice. Oh, I forgot. I don't have
Okay,
much air.
that is a ghostly boo.
If that was okay, my
Yeah.
friendly boo.
Yes. So yes. So anyway, today is
hmm
Halloween. People are going trick or treating, and when you are with your partner, make sure that it is all treats and no tricks, because that will make a happy, happy, happy relationship. Today we're our show. We're talking about after the storm, and without struggle. What does it say? Without struggle, there is no success. Isn't that
Yes.
the saying that Martin Luther King had?
Yes.
So anyway, we are just here and excited to be here once again. I am Zare,
I'm Mar.
and we are happy to be able to share with you some of the things that we have learned, are learning, have studied, and that we're working forward towards having a very healthy and happy
Oh,
and
goodness.
thriving relationship. And these are all the wonderful things that go to make up a relationship.
Hey, go
Now,
share. Hold on. You just was like going on and rambling,
yeah, I
and
because
I
I
didn't
didn't
know
know,
where you were going. No one else knew you were
and
going.
I didn't know where you
But
were, but I was
but
trying to
we're
give you
going
time to
to
come in.
share. If you
Yes,
allow me to be able to share,
share,
Sharon, you got the name
share.
Sharon, but you don't share too often all the time.
I'm
Not
sharing.
flowing easily. That is.
Yes,
That's why Zare actually fits the bill. That's spiritual name of
absolutely,
yours. So
absolutely.
outside of sharing, which we want
Hmm.
folks to do right now,
Yes,
friends, family, enemies, we want to make sure if there's any other individuals who are part of our Black Media Network that are watching, because I know some of you guys are watching. We know that you are picking up this good information. And we
yes,
love that too, because of the fact that some people are jealous or uncomfortable when someone picks up information that someone else has and gives to them. We don't. There was that old saying that said, what?
it's community. It's
No,
no, no, no.
they
But I'm
say
saying, I
copying
say
is an
that's where I was
element of
going.
flattery.
Exactly, and it's
S-
community, and within that community, that's
mhm.
that's just like that's sharing, and that it shows that you appreciate it.
Well, that's what you need to speak to
Yes,
me.
and
Then
and
why are you
so
looking at me?
because I always look at you when I'm talking like that.
Well,
Okay,
that's something you shouldn't
it's
be looking at
it's
them to do. I already know that, but that's a very good point.
it as you were saying, it is a sign of flattery, and it's also a um
hmm
a very um it's a good thing. I'm sorry, there's this
It's a
sound.
phone in the
Okay.
background because I haven't had a chance to get to it. So just
Okay,
just go on.
I know, it's just I was like, what is that?
Yeah, that's
And
what it
so
was.
yeah, so when flattery, or when you copy somebody, or you do what, pick up some things that you are learning from them, it really shows that you appreciate what they're doing and the information that you have from them, or whatever you're able to garner
Well,
from them.
it's a part of what you call reciprocation.
Yes.
Okay, the other side of the power of attraction.
Hmm.
And so that says that both we on the network and those who are part of the network are picking up our information, means we both are in a symbiotic way of being more unity like.
Hmm.
Okay,
United, we are in this together.
and we go deeper and look at the African principle called Mbutu,
Hmm.
which is we are who we are
Because of who you are.
because of who you are too. And that's in the
Yes.
relationship. That's very important. That goes how we're going to talk about the storm, but this is the third part
Yes.
of it that
And
has everything to do with our connection with one another, whether it was good or bad or in between, which it
hmm
was. I think we're going
and
to do the video first, but go ahead.
and with that said, we
hmm
are going to start with our belief statement. We're going to have our guest coming in a little bit, or a little
hmm
later, but right now we're going to start with our belief statement. It says, "We believe in the magic of real relationships, so we know we are going to relate. It doesn't matter what your mother says, or what your father says, or your children say, or even what Jesus says, we are going to relate. And we also know the old saying that we can be friends, but we can't be lovers, or we can be lovers, but we can't be friends. Therefore, we marry our lovers, but not our friends. But TTJT believes our friends can make our best lovers, and lovers can be our best friends. We believe that the creator split one soul into masculine and feminine energies. And those energies have been on a journey through lifetimes, preparing to reunite here on earth. Each of us has a divine partner, the yin to our yang,
Mm-hmm.
who can help us feel whole again. As your hosts, we're Sharon and Craig Butts, and we bring over 56 years of marriage experience to the table. We're here to help you reimagine your relationship lifestyle, drawing from our rich experiences to empower you to reach your goals. Take
Sometimes on new experiences.
exactly, which is true because we're always learning and growing.
Well, if
Yeah.
the old wise saying, a wise man says that, and if you feel you all that you know everything, then you're not wise. I didn't even say it in a wiser way, but
No,
it makes sense.
it's something to the extent of only a fool thinks they know everything.
That's another one on the other
Yeah,
side. You can have
yeah.
more than one way to look
Hmm.
at information and knowledge, which is why you can't know everything.
Yes. Taking the journey together is not about
Or,
creating drama. We
mhm.
serve as watchmen and women, dedicated to uplifting and empowering individuals to build and sustain balanced, healthy relationships, especially within our community. We address interpersonal concerns in dating, cohabiting, and marriage, all to cultivate committed, thriving relationships. Together, we'll explore the transformative power of relationships, embracing the spirit of Ubuntu. I am because we are.
Mhm.
Let us grow, uplift, and elevate one another on this beautiful journey.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journey.
Now we can go right into what the show
Wow.
is about today.
Yep, I did.
Yes.
You want to continue on as I go find the not just what I'm doing right there, but as I go find the video we want to play.
Yes, and that's fine. But yes, we've had a good week so far, and it's been a
Mm-hmm.
quick week. But it's hard to believe that we are actually through the storm period. Um, the hurricane season is right at its end.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah,
There's
and
a one
so
brewing up right now, but it doesn't have that much brouhaha.
yeah, so this is really a good transition as we see that through the storm we're coming out on the other
The
side
other
of it.
side,
Yes.
yeah. And when you come out on the other side, you don't have to be stagnant and fall asleep.
No.
It's just that your excitement you do this time doesn't turn into very negative drama.
Exactly.
You are more positive, wanting to do things that are exciting,
Hmm.
wanting to do things that are uplifting, wanting to
Yes.
do some things that in turn you are moving, but you just don't want to make it boring from
Not at
that end
all.
because
Not at
boringness
all.
sometimes will bring drama on. As they was saying,
Idle hands or idle minds, something
the
like that.
devil's workshop.
Yes.
I think it has a lot to do with the fact that many of the thought patterns that are going in your mind, you don't have enough time being idle to figure out which of those thoughts are mine and which ones are not mine. That's right.
And
Not,
you don't feel like
not
you need to take the time. So
well,
you
that was
just
probably the more
yeah.
idleness because
Yeah.
you're not taking your time to
Uh-huh.
discern that.
So you entertain
Sharon,
them all.
Sharon,
Yes. Yes.
Sharon.
Yes.
And she grabbed it too quickly because you do that a lot.
Yeah, I do.
So a lot of people don't know that every one of the thoughts that go through your mind, a thousand. In fact, there's some scientific thing they did. They have thousands of thoughts that go through your mind.
Hmm.
There is no way that them all are your thoughts.
Right. Right.
And if they were your mother and fathers and sister brothers, other people thoughts from before people that work, they still are not your
Your
thoughts.
thoughts.
So they're and the important thing I'm trying to find out your thoughts in your voice. I'm going to outside
Yeah.
is important because you're in such a competition or a sea on your mind. You may not even know who you are from that
Right.
end.
Right.
So that's why it's important to take that time out to do that, huh?
Exactly.
Exactly. Exactly.
So shall we? Is the video ready?
I think it is.
Okay.
You're right, and I'm being sidelined, which I shouldn't be, should I?
No.
Okay, let's bring the video in, and we're gonna switch it up, and then we're gonna switch it over a little bit. Don't they got some other ways to do this? Cancel that. Hold on. Let me go to the video. It is as big as you can get it. Where is it at? I don't know how to get it bigger than this here, like I did before. Doo-ba-doo. How about we do like this? Oh, but we can't do that. You know why?
Why?
You see why in a minute. Stop. Oops, I really messed up.
You just stopped sharing.
Yeah, you're telling me. You are telling me I did. So let's go share. We'll get back there real quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got it back there. And then we go back over here. And then we put it. There's a drop down here. That's what I'm looking for. To put it up here. Add it to the stage. Put it over here.
And this is how you work.
Yeah, there we go.
You talk yourself through it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to. You don't think we should put that big? Let's keep it where it is.
You know what? Let's leave it well enough alone.
Yeah. Because I don't know why. I have to work with it later on to find out why this is not viewing tab. We know it's up there, so why it's not large enough. But anyway, let's go ahead and go. Here we go. Hopefully you guys will be here to take the sound up. And here we go.
You want to be married. You're trying to figure out exactly what is it about me that's not allowing me to be in that space, or maybe you're in a relationship, maybe you're in a marriage, and it's not really giving what you thought it was going to give. I can tell you one reason. You're probably not practicing selflessness. I am not telling you to put people's needs and feelings over your own. I'm telling you that their needs and feelings should be on par with yours. Selflessness plays a huge factor in your ability to compromise. So if you're constantly like, it's my way, it's how I feel, you're struggling to understand things more objectively, you really only focus on your perspective, your perception, your viewpoint, that's letting you know your ability to bend is not necessarily there. And that's one thing about being selfless. You're willing to bend. What shows your commitment outside of that material display? Exactly. Think about that. What characteristics of you, what strengths of yours show that commitment? I can tell you selflessness definitely does. It's so much when it comes to being a selfless person. That's something that you really should practice before you even go into any relationship. Or if you're in a relationship or a marriage, you can practice that too. Go out and help somebody. Pay it forward. Go donate. Go do some charity work. Do something, because that selflessness shows your willingness to sacrifice whenever it's necessary. And let me tell y'all, marriage takes a lot of sacrifice. I hope this helps. I wish you all the best. Happy, healthy relationships. Bye, babies. You want a relationship?
Wow, I almost wanted to do that one again. Really?
It was so nice you wanted to do it twice.
I don't know about that. A lot of people would feel kind of, what is all this stuff down here?
I don't know. Don't worry about it, because
it's probably me not knowing what I'm doing. Here we go. A lot of people feel uncomfortable with it. I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will feel uncomfortable with that. Because I mean, you just have to face it. And a lot of our relationships, especially today, and I got to have it now. I got to make my money. I have to follow my dreams or my vision. Notice every one of them has to do with mine.
Yes.
Yes, and nothing wrong with that, but there's only problem with that is it doesn't bring out a good balance when you get in a relationship with another human being that might be going mine.
Yeah.
And you both are trying to do something together, and it's both mine, but not ours.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you're doing mine, and both of you are doing mine,
and they're doing different minds too.
Exactly.
You have different minds. It's even that worse.
There is no our, you know, and because you're on two different planes.
Well, there is as for our talking, if we even do that,
exactly.
Sharing, if we do that,
yes,
or actually getting up in the morning, getting where the goats eat it, and go out the door, and then see each other back again at the end of the day from that end. But we're talking about actually that generation of connecting from within,
Mhm.
which really builds a relationship, that really makes a
Yeah.
relationship. That's what we're talking about. And from that particular end, no,
Right.
no, it doesn't happen. So when she speaks about going from self-centered to being more selfless, there's a lot of people in relationships now,
Mhm.
old and young, who are operating more from a self-centered point of view, not a
Yes.
selflessness
Yes.
point
Yes.
of view. And that many times caused that storm in the first place.
Mhm.
That's why they had that storm. They moved from the us, especially when they first got married, and they did the what's it, night when on, no, what's it called, the in love thing.
Yes.
You
Yes.
put together that big marriage thing
Wedding
where
and the whole
whether it was on the whether
reception
it was
and
on the
all that. Yes.
beach like we did,
Yes.
and did that good job of putting together
Yeah.
the stuff we wore that was kind of
Mhm.
Mediterranean, kind of Afrocentric.
Afrocentric. Yeah.
But yet, even through all that, you still have to consider in the inside, are you really prepared
Yes.
to share your life with that other
Right.
person, and vice versa?
Right. And understand what that entails.
Exactly. Well, that's something hopefully that you two have talked about before that.
Yeah.
Number one, to see if you
And
even have that kind of principle
Yeah.
in that relationship that says this is something we believe to do. And you and I did, mainly me, I did most of the talking because it was a principle you were not used to, you didn't practice, but it sounded good to you, no doubt about it, because
Mhm.
it is of a spiritual nature connected to you as a being. So it
Right.
sounded good. But
Right.
actually having to practice was a whole different story.
Right.
And so that's when it became into something of a conflict, because you'd actually had experience. Everybody experiences that bliss of being together,
Mhm.
whether the first time when you do the and love the thing,
Yes.
whether it is strictly lust
Mm.
or you move to the higher level of we're going to tie the knot, jump the broom. Still at those times, most of us, I'm pretty sure, are not thinking, I.
No.
I mean, even though I see some of these shows
Exactly.
on cable, I'm dating myself. Excuse me. on, on the internet, where you have Bridezilla and
Yes.
Husbandzilla, where they are
Mhm.
on pretty much trying to put together this marriage that's only about
Yes.
not
This is what
us.
I want. This is my
Exactly.
day. And that's the one thing that I couldn't understand when people are getting married and you have the bride saying, "This is my day." Well, what about him? What does he get? Nothing? It's his day too. And without him, you wouldn't have a day.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, celebrate your birthday and let it be done. So, I don't understand that whole mentality. Never have understood that mentality of this is my day.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I'm the bride, so it's my day. Cater to me. Everything is about me. No,
But
it's your day.
mhm.
Everything is about both of you.
But most of the time, it's the balanced, healthy way.
Mm-hmm.
Again, whether it's as I said before, sexual thing,
Yeah.
lust, or the other side, real romantic and all that good
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But there's no doubt about it, everybody was grossly into the us. You
Yes.
got the crowd of people around you who are
Right.
grossly involved with you and the other you
Mm-hmm.
as an us, right?
Right.
And that's probably the first time and the only time really at the beginning of the relationships,
Mm-hmm.
where the us thing is like a automatic default.
Yes.
You don't think about it in detail. It's a feeling that comes out of you,
Mm-hmm.
and you operate that way.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But later on, after the honeymoon goes, the 5 year itch or the 7 year
or
itch.
or sometimes, after the honeymoon, give
Mm-hmm.
it a year or two and you have a child, or
Yes.
where the attention goes someplace else,
Uh-huh.
and it's not shared attention anymore. Then, you have more things to juggle, and it's not as um everything is not as cut and dry as it once was.
Exactly. Hey, before you go on, I'm gonna let our guest that usually comes on, if she's in it also ready, she can also type into our messenger that she's about ready, and we can always pick it up off a messenger when she's ready. Did she wave her hand?
She waved her hand.
I think she waved her hand. Wave your hand if you're sure. She waved both of them. Okay, let me bring her in. From that end, bring her with two. What is going on here? Add her to the stage.
There
Probably
you
that will
go. That'll
go. There we
help.
go. Hold on. It's this one. There we go. How are you doing? And I hope everything took care in the background. And I hope at the same time you had a little chance to hear what we've been talking about. Otherwise, we can catch you up.
You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted, by the way. We didn't mute you.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, wow. Well, you were muted. So somehow that meant you couldn't hear us and we couldn't hear you. But now you're unmuted. So again, I don't know if you had a chance to catch up with what we were talking about while you were on the phone, or do we need to catch you up?
I might need to get a catch up. I heard
Okay.
the selflessness
Mm-hmm.
uh topic. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, we just were talking about how when it came to the selflessness or the idea of unity of being together is most of the time known by default, nothing in detail, nothing real experience, because we're talking about Sharon really never experienced that. It was something I never did, but I had most of the knowledge of it. Happens usually during the honeymoon period, or the period where we first make that strong commitment to one another, whether it's under lust or it's under romance, not so
Mhm.
much obligation. But
Yeah.
anyway, most of the time when we make that connection and we do that um, 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 marriage ceremony, usually it's under the guise that we are a us. And so do all the people that come, the family, the bridesmaid and brideswoman, whatever it is.
Bridesmaids, groomsmen.
Exactly. All of them under the guise that those two ain't no two anymore. They're us. And we're just talking about how that's the first time we really operate as a us and not so much of a self-centeredness. And again, it's almost by default. And Sharon just was talking about how on the negative side, there's what?
The mine.
Oh, well, speak up, man.
There's the
Why are you afraid all of a sudden when she's
no,
on
no,
the
I'm
phone to
not.
say something?
It's because you started talking about that, and so I was like, okay, what else did I say? No, it's all about the
Mhm.
selfishness, the mine. It's mine, my this, my that, and then I was talking about how I didn't understand how when uh the marriage is preparing and getting ready to go and everything, the bride always say it's my day, cater to me. This is about me. Without him, there would be no special day like that. So it's the day for both of them, the bride and the groom, the male and the female. And if you are in love, you want to share that. And that's not a time for you to start off with being,
Me. Right.
exactly. This is
But
about me, and he's
nowadays,
liver.
you happy to have me, and I'm happy to have you.
Exactly. And so we are going to do this together to make sure that everybody knows that we are in this together.
Exactly. And it's so serious. You sign your name on the dotted line. Excuse me. You sign your name on a marriage certificate that says the us thing to the
Exactly.
state, to the government, or
And
whoever
and
else is
and that's
involved
the
with it.
thing. Both of you sign your name.
Exactly.
It's not
Exactly.
just it's my day, so I'm going to sign it,
You
and
can
you can
forget
come
it.
along whenever. It's
Exactly.
all about me. No, no, he has to sign it too. Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
It's none of is that I hear a baba in the background, a baby. Is that
Yeah.
your baby?
No.
Why you? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm at my mom's house, and she's
Okay.
watching my niece, my sister's newborn.
Okay. Okay. Well, tell your mom we said hello, and we are graced to have the presence of you as a young lady on the show, because we have not had a young lady this long on our show or a young person on the show this long. By now, they've already run off. Either
Oh,
we
Not
ran
since
them off or they are
yeah.
gone.
not since we've been on. Not since we've been
Oh,
on.
look at this.
Oh, how cute!
Oh, look at
Oh,
that
she
little
about to
cutie.
drool.
So, not on this network, but when we did it before,
But
we had Therese was on for a long time.
what was this before?
The one that we were doing out of Omaha.
Oh yeah, that was years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
That
years
was years
ago.
ago. So let's before we go on, we're grandparents, so we don't get a chance to see our grandkids much at all.
Yeah, and they are much bigger than that.
Exactly, but we missed this stage. I had to
Yes.
blow up the screen because you get a chance to kiss those big buttermilk jaws. Look at those big old.
Mm.
They get spoiled as can be,
Exactly.
and of course at that age, grandparents have that right to be able to do that. How you doing, man? And we miss that particular portion. I always love it in such a way where I can, say and do things that I don't have to be questioned on, and it don't necessarily have to make sense, and they don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
But we absolutely love it. And then, of course, at the end, we love it because then we can just give them back.
Yeah.
Right. You saw what I did. Get a.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, I did see that.
That's
Wow.
a good thing about being an aunt. I got 3 nephews. I got 3 nieces. I love my nephews. I love my nieces too, but
Hmm.
my nephews are the oldest, and I can, uh,
Well,
build with them. And they so nerdy and smart, and they ask me all kind of questions, and I love just answering and researching and just being smart. TT.
all right.
See, that's good.
See what you just spoke of is the power of sharing
Yes.
your essence in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And when it becomes very comfortable is when there is a feedback,
Yeah.
ebb and flow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That ebb and flow is all part of the connection of energy because energy never dies. It just turns from one particular state and moves, excuse me, and moves from one particular state to another state. It never dies.
Yeah.
So the fact that your energy is not dying, you have to understand your energy is not all about keeping it to yourself. It's
Mm-hmm.
all about you trying to share it.
Yes. Yeah.
And in relationships, the storm start, because this is what we're talking about, and then we're going to a break, is when the energy stops being able to be shared between one another.
Right.
And we turn
For
from,
whatever reason.
well, there's a lot of reasons
And
behind it.
that's why I said
But
for
the
whatever
main thing
reason.
is it changes from us sharing
Mm-hmm.
from an us to being mostly an I.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
all about I.
Where you start seeing yourself, your experiences,
Hmm.
your needs, your wants, your desires as more important than your partner's.
As it used to be. Some people say, "Oh, you fall out of love," and I understand that. That's why I always say, "In loveness is an overrated commodity." I'll say it again, an overrated commodity, because you can, as fast as you can fall into love, is as fast as you can fall out of love. Of course,
Yeah.
some people say it's much better to take a little time to fall in love because it takes a little more time to fall into love than it takes more time to fall out of love. But we use that in love this many times to connect back to the power of feeling like us,
Mm-hmm.
about us. And when we lose that, we don't feel like we're connected anymore as an
Exactly.
us.
Exactly.
Would you not agree, young lady?
Yes, I'm sharing.
No, this is Sharon.
I'm
Oh, you're
sharing.
Sharon.
No, I'm sorry.
Yes, today she's all right.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we've got to get that straight and get that connected and corrected. And that's it's interesting when you are moving into another state of being and another state of existence, and it's new for you, but you also have to make it new for other people too.
Right.
So yeah, this is all wonderful,
Yes,
very
it
wonderful.
is very, very wonderful. Very wonderful. So, when you think about the us principle that we just talked about and how it moves through, I'm making her a guinea pig, by the way, and it moves and it moves through.
Instead of me, thank you.
Exactly. Well, you want to. You're
No, no, no.
hopefully you're being it by living the life.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
You don't
anyway,
want to
go
make it
ahead.
artificial. You want to live the life
Right,
from that
right,
end too. It's always the best thing to do is to live the life. To be
exactly.
honest with you.
Oh, it is definitely.
So when you experience, I'm assuming you experienced being in love. Am I correct before?
Yes, my
Okay,
marriage.
good, 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 good. Some people would, if I asked them that, they were like, I don't know, I don't know, I haven't. They've had never experienced
Or they will
being in
say, I
love.
guess
Yeah,
so.
It-
I feel like I was maybe twice in my life.
okay. So when you felt that in loveness, however it was developed, however it was caught, I got there. Then you feel like you was an us with this other person, connected to that other person as an us.
Yeah, it was one. It was a oneness, at least
There
for
you
me.
okay.
There was a oneness. There was a oneness, yes.
Okay, I was going to say
Yeah, that was kind
what
of a
I
halfness.
you,
If it was,
but that's not
yeah,
true. But she's
she
right.
said one.
It was
Her,
a
She's
see,
oneness.
and I
Of course,
understand that.
of course, it ended. So there was a oneness that turned into.
Why did
I
you
would
say? Of
say
course it ended. Why did you say? Of course it ended. That's yeah. Why did you say? Of course it ended.
because y'all know I'm not in that relationship anymore.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I
yeah.
almost. I thought you were saying that oneness, of course, would not stay generally out of principles,
No,
and of course, then and we
and
fell
see,
apart.
that's that would be dig. If I spoke on that, that would be digging into an even deeper thing because there's definitely still innate connection.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
ah,
So I can't say that that has ended internally, but it has ended in its present moment physically right now.
understand that.
But
Understand that.
when there was that level of oneness, and I just remember being completely selfless to a degree of into a way that it was almost troublesome for me in the sense
Because it was it because it was one sided. Because you just described that.
because it became one sided. Yeah,
Beginning.
Okay.
So you knew at the beginning he was, without going so far into it.
Mm-hmm.
You knew at the beginning he was too. Because the truth is, since you did
yeah,
bring this.
we were head over heels
Okay, that's good.
in
And
the beginning.
that's usually the ideal of in loveness. However it came about, like I said, through lust, romance, or whatever.
Right.
Usually both people know it. And other people surround around, they can see it and they
See
talk
it.
about it. But
Mm-hmm.
but the reality is the real alley of it is that's what I call reality, the real alley of it, because many people don't want to go down the alley. That's real because whatever it is. Has to do with the fact that sometimes one person will be in love with
Yeah.
that person that they connect with, and the other person is not.
No. And sometimes
It's
it's
not.
one is in love and the other is just infatuated,
Yeah.
or is having a desire met, a need met, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, fulfilled.
and it's
Th-
masquerading as love.
those are the arranged relationships. You know,
Hmm.
in other countries,
Yeah.
it ain't got nothing to do with no in loveness. We do
Right.
that here a lot, but in other countries, they ain't got nothing to do with no in
Yeah.
loveness. Their idea of unity is a ritual that's connected to their culture. So whether you feel like this person or not, it's going to happen. Kind of reminds me how Eddie Murphy did when it came to what.
What was that?
America.
Coming to America.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he gave that example where his father, James Earl Jones, was I love it there. God bless you, my brother. I know you're with the ancestors too. And he spoke about this situation where my father wants me to marry her, but I, on the other hand, am in love with that other her from America. Now,
Hmm.
there's an example right there
Yeah.
of a difference between those that are set up to be that way and other million culture. This still goes on like that.
Hmm.
And when I have talked to some people who are in that cultural kind of situation, I call it,
Right.
you know what they told me?
What's that?
That is just part of our culture.
Hmm.
And to us, this is another form of love
Yes.
to
Yes.
carry on the tradition.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
I.
hold on, one more
Uh-huh.
thing.
Uh-huh.
One more thing. And we grow later on to guess what?
What?
Love each other. I'll
Yeah.
say it again. We grow later on
Hmm.
to try to love each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And that growth into love, a
Hmm.
lot of that has to do with, and it may sound like this is craziness on my part, but this is something I got from one of my students whose parents were in an arranged marriage,
Hmm.
and they had been together for quite a few years. Um, but that growing to love one another has to do with the family connections, the family, because both families were connected enough to make that arrangement happen. They stay connected, and so they're the strength behind the couple, and so that helps them to continue to grow together.
Yeah, we understand spiritually wise. There is always a plethora of choices out there,
Hmm.
and it's not about extreme. It's about finding the balance,
Yes.
and the balance is you can't stop. You can't erase someone who got into a relationship like that.
Mhm.
They can know that once knowledge comes into their mind and knowledge becomes presented to them, they can choose another path. They can choose another direction.
Exactly.
And one of that
Exactly.
direction could be where we really weren't trying to love each other, where I really wasn't trying to love you, but I now see things differently. My
Yeah.
consciousness has risen for whatever reason, hopefully good reason.
Mhm.
I'm deciding now to try to start to know you much better so I can become more
Friends.
and in turn we become more loved ones. It doesn't have to be the ultimate of what, since this is not happening the way you want now, let's throw the baby out with the bathwater and just get up and go.
Exactly.
Which we hear a lot of times that are happen in these relationship things from young folks and sometimes now older folks. If for some reason my shoes don't shine the same way in the morning like it was yesterday, I saw your face, this shoe is going to be up in your boot right out the door. I didn't mean to be but in so many words, you got to go.
Yeah.
And
marriage
there's no in between. You
Yeah.
just got to go
Mhm.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not forgetting the day before you hit him on the side at the back of his head.
Yeah.
And you told him, go ahead and stay, but shut up and sit down.
Yeah.
I'm being extreme, but you understand what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying.
So I think that's important. You're getting ready to say something, young lady. I just can feel it. Just can feel it. What you want to say?
You're muted.
You are muted.
I saw a reel that if you don't mind, let me see. Hold on. Oh no. I saw a reel that was speaking on that about the I'm gonna just go to it if y'all don't mind.
Yes, I don't know how well we hear it. And when you do that next time, just right now, make sure you get it to us ahead of time. Even though we flow so
I didn't think about it until something.
I know, because we do so spontaneous. We do that,
Yeah.
but that's all right. Just next time around, if that does, then we'll try to work it in. But go ahead and do what you got. Do what you in turn feel strongly do. Hold it up in front so we can either see it or get it close enough so we can hear it. That's probably the most important thing.
Yeah. Yeah, hearing it is definitely the most important because a lot of the things that we go through, and when we need to be brought closer,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things that storm should do.
Mm-hmm.
That sometimes people say the hard times and the tough times will either make or break us.
Okay. Real quickly, I got a feeling that we're past our breaks, right?
Yeah, we did.
Let's go to a break. Why don't you see if you can find what you need to find? We'll go to a break. We'll come back. We'll be ready for you, okay? Okay, let's go.
Join us for an unforgettable Caribbean cruise. Attention everyone, are you ready for a summer escape? Our Black Media Network invites you to an incredible Caribbean cruise from June 16th to June 20th, 2025. Whether you're bringing your partner or connecting with family and friends, this is the perfect getaway. Here's what you can look forward to. Monday, we set sail for the Port Carnival, Orlando, Florida. The adventure begins. Tuesday, enjoy a fun day at the sea. Relax and take part in exciting onboard activity. Wednesday, discover the beauty of Grand Turk. Immerse yourself in the island of culture and scenery. Thursday, another fun day at the sea. More time to mingle with you and your boo. Friday, explore the stunning shores of the Bahamas. Experience paradise firsthand. And last but not least, Saturday, we return to the Port Carnival, bringing back cherished memories. This cruise is your chance to engage with your favorite show host, your spouse, and make valuable connections and ignite meaningful conversations. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. For more information, reach out to our staff or any show host and email at getgoingtravelagency@gmail.com. Once again, that's getgoingtravelagency@gmail.com. Secure your spot today and get ready for a remarkable summer experience. You can learn more information at rblackmedia.com. Once again, that's rblackmedia.com. Hey there. Are you ready to amplify your voice and embrace your passion? Tune in to Our Black Media Network, where community comes first and every story matters. We're here 24/7, delivering powerful content on everything from financial literacy to the latest in sports and mental health. We are unapologetically real, reflecting the heartbeat of our community with programs that inspire, empower, and drive change. Join us on all major media platforms to celebrate our unique voices and advocate for the change we want to see. With over 50K monthly viewers, our network is your go-to destination for authentic, engaging content. Be a part of the movement. Be a part of the change. Tune in to Our Black Media Network today and let your voice be heard.
Okay, we are back again. We are back again. And we just want to say that did you finally get that at all? We see you. She doesn't know that. Does she know that she's back on with us? Yeah, you're back on with us. Yep, you're still. Hey, hello.
I was trying to make sure I found the right one.
Did you find it?
I honestly came across like 3 of them that was significant, and I just feel like I forgot it was the last statement that was said and where I was
Mm-hmm.
going with it. So I was just like,
Okay.
it was a
Well,
lot of information in those 3.
Well,
yeah. If it comes back and you remember, then at least you know where it is.
exactly. Or
Look
we
at
can
it
share.
again.
Or we can share it the next time because we haven't even got into our notes
No.
on this. We're now just strictly into testimonies, which is okay. That's a spontaneous of relationships. Our relationships, if we're flowing in a balanced way, we don't pick up notes or we don't read off the cue cards like on TV.
Yeah.
Hello, Iris, how are you doing this morning? Put the other cue card
I'm
over
doing
for you.
fine. How are you?
I can't read. My glasses are not on. so the need for us to understand authenticity is important, and of course, how authentic or what kind of authenticity to
Yeah.
show is important, because then it could stop down that road if we use the I statement,
Mhm.
and it becomes a storm, and the relationship becomes, as we talked about before, not loving, not in love
Yeah.
anymore, and when we're both at odds with one another. Yeah.
But because one of the big things that we do is we forget to focus on friendship all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We get married and we think, oh, well, now we've got to merge finances. Well,
Mm-hmm.
now we've got to learn how to live together. Well, now we've got to I've got to set a second plate at the table. There are all these little things. Now we've got a child on the way. Within all of that, you still have to maintain and nurture that friendship. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the most important pieces because
Many a times I had to stop it real quick because many times they may not have went into a relationship based on friends at all
in the first
anyway,
place, you're right
and that's
about
a
that.
lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Which is why on the other side we're talking about they can grow into loving one another,
Mhm.
and I use the word friendship because I think friendship, and I believe friendship, and I hope you believe the same thing too. Um, that friendship is a strong foundation of love.
Yes. And tell me what you think about this.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that even if you start off as friends,
Mm-hmm.
that you have sometimes you have to create a different level of friendship because things change.
Did that happen with you, young lady? Did that happen with you, Empress?
Yes, we were really good friends growing up, and over time, I think we knew each other since we were like 8 or 9.
Mm.
But our teenage years was the foundation of our friendship, and then I didn't even think of him in that way until around the time we started actually dating as adults, and um in our relationship or marriage, um there was a definite degree of friendship to the point that I know there's a understanding that doesn't have to unspoken understanding. Um, Even though we're not together right now.
Mm.
It's like I know you. I know you. Like I know you know you. So it's like I know you. So any like dismay or any outlook that people may have of like I know what's going on. Like I know what it is. I
Do
know
you
what.
feel like Sharon, and I mean to cut you off, but do you feel
Mhm.
like Sharon just said that this is now another level of friendship to you?
Yeah, that's a like a. It's almost like a not necessarily in love type of unconditional, but it's like an unconditional friendship. Like it's like if you love someone truly, you never unlove them. You know, you might put a boundary somewhere because of respect levels, and you know them as an individual, and they're not ready for this or ready for that. But your love, if it's real, is never going to just not be. You might not be in love, so to say, but you're gonna always care about that person. And if y'all created a real friendship, but you're always gonna have that.
Okay, let me help you with that because we all kind of drift in that water of relationships with moving parts, and we bump into each other all the time. At least with taking the journey together, and our foundation is that unconditional love is what true friendship is. Now,
Hmm.
there's other kinds of friendships, and we usually call them associates,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
but they don't operate in an unconditional way. So,
Hmm.
true friendship is really called under the guise of unconditional love. And that's why when we look at friendship as being the basis to a balanced relationship, it's always based under the guise of an unconditional. In other words, it's always based under the unction, the energy, the rules, whatever you call it, of unconditional love. You cannot be truly loved or a loving kind of person if you don't present that friendship, whether it's
Right.
to your mom, your children, or what we're used to, that friend that we grew up with for
Mm-hmm.
years. Okay.
Yes.
We're just saying that same kind of friendship you could carry into a relationship and in turn expand it much longer and much more. Okay.
Hmm.
And it doesn't necessarily mean, even though on that unconditional friendship that we do before we make that commitment, most of the time we don't necessarily let the capturedness of having sex involved because many times it can dilute, okay, the
Or
friendship.
or distort.
Oh, or distort, especially if it's your
Mm-hmm.
sister or your brother or your mom or a close friend, or it could be
No,
another.
but even a good friend, like
So,
even a good
so
friend.
exactly. So you're not trying to mix that up at all.
Right.
When you move into that more committed kind of relationship with your significant other, then that's usually attached. Though there's some people who are making significant relationships closer, they don't necessarily attach sex to it, even when they get into that commitment. They
Yes.
may wait months, or there's the other side, young folks to want to understand that we can get older and certain function parts don't operate anymore. What are you going to do then? Because that's a reality that has to go on. Friendship will always be there.
Yes. Yes.
Unconditional love will always be there. It will
Exactly.
not be in turn based on that physical side.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think what's important to understand in a taking the journey relationship, friendship is based on unconditional love. So of
Yes.
course, love is it. Of course, it's that basis. No doubt about it.
It makes me think about those relationships that end and they never talk again, or they have this hate or this animosity or whatever towards each other. And I feel like with those types of relationships, most likely, I could be wrong, but my idea of it is that in those types of relationships, they were in it for what they were receiving. If you were
Yeah.
in,
Yes.
if you had an unconditional friendship, you might take a moment. Of course, you need to heal from this and heal from that, and take a
Mhm.
moment to like forgive and all of that stuff. You got to take time to yourself for a moment. But if you were really truly friends
Mhm.
and there was unconditional love, you understand, okay, this is why we didn't work. You were this, I'm this, we're different people. I love you, you love me, we're
Mhm.
friends. And you would still be able to communicate with those people or that person um, on that
Mhm.
unconditional agape love level of
Yes.
things.
Yes. I love that. I love it. Though that's that Greek word, by the way. It's not African, but by the way, it's still a Greek word that says that love can operate in a more divine way.
Yeah.
And I love that. I would say that even Doctor Umar, who's it, Umar,
Hmm.
would probably agree with me from the end that if your relationship broke up, especially black folks, we have that problem as black men, especially. Could I still be friends? Old school, that is mostly.
Yeah.
Could I still be friends with my wife or the person right
Ex-wife.
now, ex-wife, or the
I've
person that's
actually had personal
can
conversations.
we actually do that? Because most of the time we can't
Right.
I've,
because we
I've
weren't really
actually,
friends in the first place.
Hmm.
That's why. But go
Hmm.
ahead. Yes.
I've actually had personal conversations with Umar about that topic.
And would he
So
not agree with me? I know he would agree with me on that matter.
mhm.
I know he would agree with me on that particular matter. That we, especially black men, have that problem where we felt we owned them as a material thing because we inside figure we all pimps anyway. and therefore we own that particular woman. And the thought of another man going into my woman sexually wise, that was like, no way I'm thinking about
I've had that be said to me.
that. Yeah.
Hand
Yeah.
on the throat, looking in the eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, but on the other side, as a man, I've had women think that same thing when it came to ain't no way I'm thinking about that other woman and you sleeping with that other particular woman whatsoever when I
Yeah,
used
it's
to do
almost
that
a
to me.
murdering, like I kill you dead
Mhm, mhm.
kind of feeling.
But you
But
you could tell that it was we were not operating, at least at that time. I'm not saying all
exactly.
the time, but
Exactly.
we were not operating as unconditional
Mm-mm.
love, under
No.
unconditional
No.
love as friends,
Because
as true
if
friends
you
who
were
we are.
unconditional loving
Hmm.
as friends,
Mm-mm.
then what would be the bottom line of it, or the ultimate in that situation is you would be happy. You would be hurt that your relationship didn't last, but at the same time you would be happy that the
Yeah,
other that your partner is able to find happiness.
exactly.
Because we're not always, the happy spot for the person that we're with.
Hmm.
So, we need to love them enough to want them to have that happy spot wherever it lands.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that's where I'm at with uh, that situation.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want you to
Don't
be
you don't
happy.
even mention any
I want,
names. You
I
don't
want
mention
what's
any
best
names.
for you. I want what's
Hmm.
best for you. I want you to be happy. And if you need me, call me.
I'm going to spit something out that a lot of young men, if they're all watching and hoping this is what we're going to do that much more as we work with you, young lady, through a lot of young men as I watch on YouTube giving their testimonies coming up, the fact that they are relating a lot these days to baby mamas more than what we did before, and the openness of baby mamas is way more than it was before. Whether they're trying to practice polygamy or they're not doing it, they just have a whole bunch of women who are having no problem to connect with them. Some of the idol kind of stars are playing that kind of game. I do mean it as a kind of game, but yet they have no skills of how to deal with that relationship or those relationships with those baby mamas, not just with the kids, but just from the relationship that those baby mamas is probably sleeping with another particular daddy or another particular guy, and they're not comfortable with it from the standpoint of the fact that my baby's mama is sleeping with another particular guy, and that is not something I'm comfortable with if that baby came out of that mama, or vice versa.
Mhm.
The other guy that that baby mama is sleeping with is mad at the fact that the father still coming back trying to connect with that child. Is getting that complex.
Yeah.
It's getting like a witch's brew. And if we don't help getting things centered back to, hey,
We need to
we
be
as people can
tribal.
be friends.
Hmm.
We can be friends. We
We
can
need
be
to be
friends.
tribal. We need to understand we are a tribe of people, several
Yeah.
Yes.
tribes, but there's a oneness. Since we don't
Yes.
know and we're not clear on
Yes.
that, we just need to act
Yes.
as one tribe and each one teach one, love one.
Yes.
Like, brother, you might be with my lady, but I need to get to know how your mindset because this young man
Exactly.
that we raising need this and this. When I'm not around, give
But
him this. And we need to
that
have orientation.
takes the idea that another black man that looks like me is and can be my friend.
And
We
my
walk we
and is
walk
my brother.
around with too much self-hate, and the idea
Mhm.
of being brothers as it was back in my day and sisters, that don't even exist. I talked to one brother one time, young brother, young brother, when I was out and around in Savannah, and I said, "Hey, what's going on, my brother?" And he said, I ain't your brother." He said, "I ain't your brother." And so the idea of us connecting to one another as being brothers and actually having true friends with one another, we don't feel that way anymore. We're still caught into this idea of we either going to be lovers or we can be friends. We can be friends or we can be lovers. But connecting that together as we're doing and taking the journey, that is not something that we're idly trying to do.
Exactly.
So it's a good idea, but until we actually start getting the knowledge behind it so that we in turn can stop practicing it and not practice mostly self-hate, then all it does is become that pipe dream that many of us black folks have either killed each other over or we died over, and it's on our gravesite. Things have to start changing now, as we're doing right now, talking with you. And as we're spitting out right now with you, the need for us to be more friendly, connected to one another, whether it's a tribe or as close as it being friends in a family circle. Because I know there's some brothers who grew up, they were friends with one another, but someone played on their girlfriend and got her pregnant. And they're not even friends anymore. And yet they were deep they were deep friends. And I'll be honest with you, young folks, if you listen to it, there ain't nothing new about that. At my age, that was happening back then too, that same thing.
And before.
Exactly. So the need for us to change that madness is that we have to start trying to look at love as being friendship. But it's unconditional friendship, unconditional love. That's what we have to be able to make that connection.
And that was one of the things that struck me. And we were talking about it the other day when we were talking about Ta-Nehisi Coates, reading his memoir about how he grew up in Philadelphia. One of the things that stood out was the fact that his father had children with 3 or 4 different women, but he was in all of their lives and would bring those children to the house and was involved in the raising of those children. And the wives or the women were all cordial to one another, and they all accepted and loved all the children. And that was one of those things that he wouldn't have it any other way. So sometimes within that, you have to have that strength as a man to say, this is how it is, and this is what I'm going to do. And if I'm going to do this in the relationship with me, I need you to agree to come along. I need you to follow on this same page with me for the sake of my offspring.
Oh, wow.
Let my offspring be like your offspring.
You're going to actually have to use the word, I need to have you submit to me in this matter? Submit to the whole idea? Submit to, I can see you already thinking about it. Oh, we'll have to move on. And actually we do, because we are down to 1 minute left. So real quickly, young lady, make sure you stay on when we get off like usual. Tell us, where are you at in the world for those who are watching?
Everyone can find me at I Seaport Savannah on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. That's it, basically. iSeaportSavannah.com and iSeaportSavannah.org and iSeaportSavannah@gmail.com.
All right. You can also see her here on our show, 2 at the same time. Is that right?
Taking the journey together every Thursday.
Right there. Make sure you put up
6 p.m.
Yes, exactly. And of course, if you want, make sure you go to WRUU 107.5 Saturday morning, and you get to hear us talk to everybody else. Yes. And we talk more with that glorious voice because I have a cigar and she has, I don't know, maybe some sherry. I don't know what it is. But anyway, get a chance to look at it. Have you listened to that as of yet, our radio program as of yet?
A few times on the links.
Oh, we have to talk about it. What you think about it. Anyway, we got to go. I know we got to go. I know we're a little bit over, which is unusual, but hey, I know other folks shows have.
Y'all are funny. Y'all actually are funny, like hilarious.
We try to be that way in that matter. Okay, let's go. We'll stay on.
like this. I like this.